Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Very excited to come to you here today with what I hope to be 2 playthroughs. We do have Tundar as one of our map makers in the chat. The intention is to play their map, the prequel to some of the Spritelys Kings map. But before we do that, I'm very excited to do something new. It was put to me by someone who I respect very much that, you know what, we can do more stuff. We can have fun adventures, and to make those fun adventures happen, maybe we need a little bit of luck, and maybe we need to put ourselves in an uncomfortable position. Folks, you never grow if you do not put yourself outside of your comfort zone. Maybe I need to do more of that. And so today we're going to go as far out of my comfort zone as I possibly can. And I'm very excited for that challenge. Chat is filling up nicely. We've got Tundar, Roman, Bearded Man, Vammies in the chat. Hello to everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here. So with that being said, let me tell you what we're going to be doing here with our challenge. We're going to start off with Beltway. Down the road, we will get again to the Tundar map. But for now, we're going to go to Beltway, a classic. You could argue that Beltway is just as classic or more classic than Broken Alliance is. And everybody tends to believe that Broken Alliance is the de facto map. Beltway, though, just as classic in my opinion. 3 players, medium-sized map, a balanced scenario with lots of resources and a land to explore. How do we church this up? How do we make this a little bit extra? Trust me when I say I would like to make this a little bit extra. And so what we're going to do here is this. First and foremost, we're going to hop in and we're going to decide which position we play as. Impossible difficulty. We're going to roll the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to determine red, yellow, or purple. I'm good with whatever. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a 4. That's going to indicate to us that we are going to be picking 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be here with the yellow position. I'm going to leave this all on random. The random part we're going to keep as random as possible. And folks, we're going to need to figure out what our challenge is for the day. And to do that, we are going to go to the Wheel of Destiny. That's not what I said at the time, but of course this is future FixFox now because FixFox here completely forgot to add his microphone to this scene. So let me explain this. In order to do the challenges, I don't want to do the same challenge every time, and I don't want to necessarily just, fly by the seat of my pants to figure out what makes the most sense. We are going to choose from this wheel and let the wheel decide what our fate shall bring to us. So we got a couple of nice ones here. We got no magic, only magic, win by 3 months. We can take no actions for 7 days. Only units that FixFox could take himself in a fight, which, by the way, I would consider myself to be less strong than, say, a pikeman. Females only, heroes and otherwise. Dead tiers, which is you roll a dice and you're not allowed to use any creatures from the tier that you roll, 1 through 6. And then either humans or animals only, whichever one is worse. So, for example, if you were playing as the knights, then no humans, I guess. I don't know. Thankfully, we don't have to play that one right now because we got dead tiers. Yay, dead tiers it is. And so now, unfortunately, what that means is that we now have to roll another tier. We have to roll the dice to figure out which tier we are not going to get to play. But dead tiers is going to be an all-time fan favorite, I am sure. Because imagine if you get a tier 6 creature or a tier 1 creature or a tier 2 creature, like you need those tiers. If you get something in the middle, you can probably do without it, but you can absolutely lose some advantage otherwise. And folks, we cannot use for this game tier 4 creatures. Cannot use tier 4 creatures. Now, of course, if we were to pick which faction we were to be as, that would make a lot of difference insofar as how impactful that would be. But because we're going to leave this on random, we are just going to remember that we cannot use tier 4 creatures. And so with that being said, folks, come along and let's have a really nice time here playing Beltway as the yellow position with dead tiers. So we're going to start off as the wizards. That's bad. Oh my gosh. We can't use rocks? Folks, we cannot use rocks for this playthrough. Why is that such a big deal? The issue with not being able to use rocks for this wizard playthrough is this. We're on a possible difficulty. We have no resources anyway. Rocks constitute your only flying creatures, and they are a good all-around unit. In fact, some of the power budget from your tier 2 and tier 3 creatures go into the cliff nest and go into the rocks so that way you can actually effectively clear the map. Ranged enemies, I don't know how we're going to deal with that now. We are going to take tremendous losses. We might have to hope for a Tree City somewhere on the map so that we can get some flyers, or I don't know what we're going to do, but I do know it's not going to involve rocks. Whatever our plan is, it's not going to involve rocks. So we do have the Castle of Lombard here, Mandigal with 7 halflings, 2 boars, and we do also have Marini the wizard, level 1. Oh goodness. Well, folks, worse things have happened, but I can't remember what they are. So with that being said, we're just going to start to trap size around the map and hope for the best. Tell you what, though, that's a good first start. 5 gems, 500 gold. That's a pretty good first start here. Yeah, given that we need 20 gems in order to get the Cloud Castle, this is a nice pickup, and I'm very happy for it. I am going to pick up the halflings here. I think that we're going to keep 1 hero full of halflings, and then 1 hero is going to have simply boars. So let's do it just like this. Let's have Mandigal be our slower combatant. Let's have Marini be as fast as she can be with just the 1 single boar. I do see some treasure over here, some gold to the south. I'm going to go to the south and see what options there are. It's not a bad idea to go up the road, but it's kind of far out of my way. Oh, and look, you can just barely see the sword here. And so we do know that there's an enemy just off screen. So we're just going to continue in this direction. Another sword. We know that there's another enemy right there. It's going to be lots of skeletons. There's an ore mine completely unguarded. Let's go grab that. And then lots of sprites. Boy, do I want to fight lots of sprites. I can. It's just not going to be my favorite thing in the world. It's not gonna be my favorite thing in the world. We're gonna wait until we can get some backup. And for now, we're gonna continue on. It's gonna be 2,000 gold from that treasure chest. Another clump of gems, very, very useful eventually for Titans. We're gonna pick up the pen here on day 1. And folks, we're gonna call that a day with 2,200 gold left. We're gonna hit end turn, and our challenge is off to a great start. I do believe, anyway. Thank you to everybody in the chat, by the way. It's really a pleasure having everyone here. But Beltway, for some people, is their very favorite map, and their kids, they love it, and that's the first map they show their kids, which is wonderful. Roman, for example, it was the 2nd map that they ever completed, which I think is really nifty. Really nifty that you remember that. I could not tell you the very first map that I ever completed, so I'm very impressed that you do recall that. Folks, our problems might have been solved. Look at this. Okay, so first off, we're gonna take the gold. Lots of halflings guarded Tree City. We do need that Tree City. We need the ranged creatures backed up by some flyers. To go through lots of halflings, though, it's weird. You need the flyers to take out your guardians, and that feels kind of bad, but we will figure that out very soon. Maybe we're gonna come to that by the end of the day, by the end of the week, hopefully by the end of the week. +4 to spell power here from the arcane necklace, gold mine guarded by lots of veteran pikemen. We will deal with that when we get there. It looks like while our ore mine was to the southeast, we do have our sawmill to the north. I'm gonna continue to take the gold here. I just know how expensive Titans are, and that really is the strategy I have. In my most recent video where we talked about the differences between the different factions and we did our wizard guide, I looked at that video and I regretted a little bit that I focused so heavily on the strategy of, well, everything be damned except for getting into Titans. And the wizards are much more dynamic than that. Now, they are much less dynamic than that if they do not have rocks, because rocks are kind of that bridge unit. But it's still going to be worthwhile to really kind of explore what we can do as the wizards until we can get up to those Titans. We're going to pick up the slow spell from the Shrine of the First Circle. That's very nice for us. More sprites, pack of orcs. Oh, what's the best way of doing this? We might want to go through these horde of peasants just to provide some relief to Marini. We might want to hire another hero just to facilitate that trade. We can purchase the Cliff Nest because it is a prerequisite. Yeah, it's a prerequisite for the Cloud Castle, so we're going to be obligated to spend 3,000 gold and 5 wood with no bonus. That feels pretty bad. We will take what we can get, though. I don't know, Foundry or Mage Guild. I'm more likely to want to use the Mage Guild than the Foundry, I think. Then again, the statue, it's such a good purchase now, knowing that we need gold. We're going to go with the statue here on this day 3, and I'm not going to regret that decision. Will I pick up another hero? I will. It is going to be either Myra or it's going to be Alamar. Look, Alamar's got 4 gargoyles. We talked about needing flying creatures. That's really the best bet there. He's not going to be my best hero. He's not going to be my primary hero, but these ranged centaurs, these gargoyles, that is probably going to be enough to help us take these halflings and then go from there. In fact, iron golems, maybe through the veteran pikemen. We'll see about that in just a little bit. We'll see. Okay, so Alamar's going to take his movement. It's going to be another 1,500 gold, up another 7k, and then I'm hoping I can get Mandigal right about here. Yeah, right about there. So we might be able to do a little bit of a switch, let Marini do their stuff, And if we could pick up the Alchemist Lab early, we might have some trade fodder for later things. And that feels pretty good. Where's the sound? No audio? No audio whatsoever? Is that better? Is that better? Let me know. I'm always interested to know if the sound is better. Redo Fix Fox, Tundar says. Well, you can't hear me. The wheel killed the audio completely. Oh no. Let me just make sure. Wait. So I am still... My mic audio is not in, huh? Oh, we can hear you? Good. All right, I'm very glad for that. Well, I'm very sad then. I'm sure I'm going to watch the recording and be sad later to know that the wheel bit just didn't work. Oh, that's right, because I didn't put the microphone in the wheel bit. Yeah, there we go. That's what happened. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. So my stress levels have gone down immensely. I thought that you still couldn't hear me. That's like sad if we're trying to play and have a lot of fun. And then I just like, you can't hear me and I can't hear you. Already we have a little bit of a disadvantage here because I can't hear you. Imagine how much worse things get if you can't hear me. I think Mandigal could take just one more step. Let's just do it like that. Here to here. Because we're going to try and go north and south, we'll do just a big swap here. This is all to make sure that we can get through these peasants really quickly and efficiently using the Winimaru strategy, where we are trying to use our mini heroes in a hero chain very efficiently. If you did not check that out, recall from last week, it was the Open, and I was really happy I got to participate. I thought that that was a fun time. I had a blast. I had a ball, and it was really fun to look at our friend Winimaru's playthrough as well, and to see some of the opportunities that I could have taken and I should have taken. And it's really also nice. Hopefully we'll get the opportunity to watch Mushonkipei's playthrough. This is all the things I enjoy. I enjoy Heroes of Might and Magic. I enjoy high quality people, and I enjoy having a good time. Speaking of high quality people, Chris is in the chat. Hello, Chris. Very nice to have you here. Welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you back here. Life's gotten in the way. I totally get it. That makes perfect sense to me, but I appreciate you checking in all the same. So thank you so much. And Thefnomics, hey, thank you so much for the subscription. I sincerely appreciate it. I understand you can't stay long, but I'm so glad that you love this map. I'm glad that you are also one of those Heroes of Might and Magic players that loves the game, loves the struggle, and loves to come out with the W at some point. That is my plan anyway. Okay, several fire elementals. We did just see our enemy to the north. I believe, I don't know, is that purple to the north or is that red to the north? It's kind of important. It's either a sorceress or a necromancer, and then either a sorceress or a necromancer. I don't think I care which one I fight first, but it is worth noting we are the late game power, and these enemies of ours, they're all middle game power. And so it's quite possible that we are going to run afoul of some nasty tricks. And that is a little bit scary. I don't like it, but we will still soldier on and do the very best we can with what we have. Okay, and I do know that we wanted to pick up a mage guild because we can't get the cliff nest. Magi are not really going to move the needle for us. I would love it if I could get 5 or 1 more unit of ore. I guess if there's 1 unit of ore there. What's the best way of doing this? The ore is out of the question for at least 2 more turns. We're going to do just like this. We're going to leave the 1 boar on Marini. Maybe she can reach with the boar. Yes, so she'll be able to pick up the ore first thing in the morning. Mandigal is just going to sit. He's going to wait. It's going to waste about, let's call it 600 movement points. But then we're going to set off first thing in the morning with that new bit of spell casting. He did pick up the slow spell, remember, and he's got the stone skin. So probably not yet ready for the veteran pikemen, but maybe we purchase, not the foundry. Maybe we just pick up the orchard today. Save gold, don't purchase the cliff nest. It's day 5, we got plenty of time. Let's pick up the orchard today. And then first thing in the morning, we will leave with some more level 1 spells. We'll hope for a nice damaging spell or something. 2 spell power, 2 knowledge. He can do some damage if you give him the chance. And then it's going to be Alamar that I think is just going to start to take these forces down the road and just be ready to clear stuff out. In fact, Alamar can probably fight that 1 battle against the halflings. He could probably do that, and then we'll just use Mandigal to try and go through the sprites and the other creatures. Okay, so let's see if our plan comes to fruition the way we wanted it to. That's 5 ore right there. We were going to have enough ore because of the ore mine we have anyway, but that gives us the level 1 mage guild. Give you a good spell. Bloodlust, not bad. Shield, not bad. Slow, we already had it, but it's nice to have it in our hand. And now we do have some forces here we can purchase. Remember, if it was rocks, we could not do such a thing. But we will pick up these forces and start to head in this direction. Yeah, let's let Alamar go, get ourselves some sprites. And then we'll solve our problems from there. Dwarves are not going to help you against, well, against sprites? Yeah, they'll help you against sprites. We'll do it like this. We're going to go on closed formation. Because we got two hex creatures, so the halflings will stay safe. The centaurs are going to get just obliterated, but the gargoyles will slide in front. Oh no, it's halflings. Whoops, my bad. No, for some reason I thought we were fighting sprites. No. So because it's halflings, you're going to want to save space. You're going to want at least, we'll just do 2 stacks of the gargoyles, and then we'll do that gate maneuver we were just talking about when we do have to go fight sprites up here. Okay, so fun fight. Let's make it happen. Glorious victory. I don't know if we can fight this fight any better, but let's give it a shot. What if we dropped voice messages instead of notes? That'd be actually sick. That'd be super cool. But could you imagine how chaotic chat would be if everybody was just like doing text to speech? That would actually be insane. I think that text to speech on Twitch might work fairly well if you're doing like sub only chat. That would probably be like okay at that point, but it would be super difficult for me to try and talk with everybody and also play. I identified recently that the playthrough that we did for the Kelvin Open, where I wasn't paying as much attention to chat, it hurts my heart to say, but I really enjoyed that playthrough more than I usually do because I'm not getting as distracted by chat. And so what I've done is that I've realized, you know what? Chat, I love you. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the reason that I'm here, right? However, there does come a point where I'm here for the game and I don't want anything else to detract from that. So I am making a little bit of a concerted effort to pay more attention to the game and less attention to chat. My hope is that people will understand that Fix Fox means no harm by doing that. But I can't spend 15 minutes at a time just engaging with not the game. So for that, I am just making some changes, and that's not a bad thing. I will continue to touch base. I'm still going to continue to talk, but at this point, when we average, 10 plus people in Twitch chat at any given moment, that's a little bit more than I can. It's a little bit more than I can reasonably manage. 3,600 gold. Do want these veteran pikemen. Was picking up the dwarves, the 14 dwarves, and now the 4 iron golems. Would that be enough to actually win this fight? With 33 sprites, lots of veteran pikemen. It could be 50, or it could be like none. Oh, it's such a big decision, and we don't even have rocks to help us with that decision. I'm gonna have to wait and find out. Okay. And Manny MM is in the chat. Welcome. Back to have you here. It's a pleasure. Get a commentator, someone to add extra flavor and narrate chat to you. That would actually that'd be nutty. Yeah, actually, Vammy, like that'd be really cool, because first off though, I'd have to have somebody to be willing to do it. And Vammy, of course, is one of our moderators, and they do an excellent job here on the stream. I really appreciate it. I love that I look back later and there's times where Vammy will have muted someone or just like removed their message. And the nice thing is that I'm just always going to have to back up my moderators. I can't ask somebody to moderate for me if I don't back up their decision-making process. Like if they think that you deserve to be muted or something, I have to go with that. I can't ask someone to have a position of authority but not give them any power. So Vammy does a good job of balancing that out. So yeah, would Vammy be the one to do it? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I need I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll figure that out. Okay, I got a plan here. It's not going to work out as well as I would have hoped though. Because originally I had the idea of doing the swinging gate maneuver in front of the halflings because I want to keep these. Oh, I guess I don't have to go through the sprites, do I? I thought I had to go through the sprites to get to the pikemen. This is such an ill-advised fight, but I'm going to do it. Level 1 and level 2 creatures against the upgraded tier 3 creatures for the knights with only a slow with stone skin, a bloodlust, and a shield. You know what I could do? I could wait until the beginning of day 1 and pick up enough forces to actually win this fight. I think I ought to do that. It feels so bad. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to. We're going to pick up Croto here. We're going to move the centaurs into the here into the garrison, and at the beginning of day one we're going to send all these forces over. We're going to get as close as we can to here. Proto's going to do a little bit of a hero swap to Alamar first thing in the morning, and then it's going to be on day one. It's going to give the veteran pikemen some more forces, but we're definitely going to have some more forces ourselves. This gold mine could be critical. Could be critical. BT dubs. Gem mine. We got crystal. Mercury. Gems. Gems. The one thing I truly need, gems. Okay. So we may, after we go through this, we might even ignore these sprites just to save our forces and go through these archers later. We will see what happens. Okay, but do we have any purchases on our last day? We've got a well, we've got a statue. Ivory Tower is a little too far away. 1 sulfur. It's 1 sulfur away. We weren't that far away. It was right there. We were so close. Okay. Bit of an error. We might have been able to pick that up. I'm still going to assume that the gold mine's going to be more valuable. It's a bit of a cope, but I'm going to assume it. I'm just going to hope for the best there. Okay, we're going to intern and see where this takes us. So, folks, that's going to be the end of week 1 here. So it's month 1, week 2, day 1. And remember, we cannot use the rocks. This is the dead tier challenge. We are going to purchase the cliff nest as a prerequisite, but we cannot use rocks in this playthrough. So if you're looking at this and saying, Fix Fox, I just showed up. What the heck are you doing? Why are you playing suboptimally? Hey, man, that's the challenge. Because if we are going to grow as a person and as a player, we are going to need to put ourselves out of our comfort zone. And right now, I'm feeling just a little bit uncomfortable. A little bit. And that feels good. That feels A-okay to me. I think I actually want the golems more than anybody else, funny enough. Yeah, we're going to do this. I don't know if there's a Freeman's Foundry anywhere on the map. I haven't seen one. Usually, I actually am pretty impressed with how well I'm able to identify things like a Freeman's Foundry out there. Yeah, not today, though. Not today. Today is not that day. Croto's going to have full speed for this boar. Probably going to go exploring in a minute. Archers, gazebo. I mean, there's options out here. And then let's do our little swap here. Let's send everybody on over. I do want the iron golems in here. In fact, I think I want them in more than I want the sprites. And then with these defenders, I think we are good to win. Lots of pikemen. It's not going to be a fun fight, but we're definitely going to win. Yeah, glorious victory, and let's make this happen. Tundar says, Amy, I wanted you to be in the story, but you can go into my lunatic map if you'd like. Yeah, we're going to be playing the Sandro story for our friend Tundar very, very soon after we complete Beltway, and I think I should be able to complete Beltway fairly quickly. I say, fairly quickly. We'll see how it goes. With this challenge, who could even say, oh no, I misread the tea leaves. Folks, we should have sent the boars down to protect the 48 halflings. Apparently that was a mistake. And now these veteran pikemen are officially in range. I will slow them down first thing in the morning, because my 6-speed boars are still going to be fast enough. So let's actually focus our fire here. Go 1 to 3. Let's send the dwarves down. Let's send the iron golems right in front. Very good, very good. There's another slow. Then at this point, I don't know, I kind of want to just send the boars to the middle of the battlefield so they can respond in either direction. I don't want to hang them out to dry to take all this damage up there, but I do want them to start doing some work for me. Iron golems are going to attack there, dwarves are going to attack there. Let's focus our fire on this stack, and then 2 more turns. Thank goodness that we've got 2 spell power. My word, this one's about to expire, but the other one's not. So let's do 2 to 4. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's kill 2 to 3. We kill 2, not bad. The damage is acceptable, all things considered. But now the boars are going to have to slide in front of the halflings. I don't think that that's going to draw any of these creatures to the top. They're all just going to try and brawl it out here, but that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what I do want. This group of 8, though, they're about to go, and they actually can reach the centaurs. I'm going to slow them. We are spending all of our spell points, and we have no regrets about it. No regrets whatsoever. We're going to kill 1 to 2 veteran pikemen here. 1 goes down. And then big stacks, big stacks. Let's kill the stack of 8. Even though they're slowed, I still want to try and deal with them if I can. 1 to 2. Let's kill, I don't know. Boars are going to attack here. They might take out the full stack with their bit of damage in just a moment. In fact, I think that they will. 20 HP, 5 HP. I think that the golems are going to get, yeah, golems are going to take a little bit of the damage there. And we can kill 1 full veteran pikeman here. So we shall. 7 veteran pikemen. Bad morale. First time we've had bad morale. Even though our morale is poor, that's the first time we've had some bad instance of morale. That actually indicates to me that we're doing okay. Like you'd think, oh no, Fix Fox, your morale is bad. That was bad luck. No, 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 no. The fact that we've only had bad morale one time, now that's good luck. So there's good luck and there's bad luck, and it all depends on how you look at it. As far as I'm concerned, that's life for you. Now also, what is life for you? Death. And for these veteran pikemen, that's just a part of the circle of life. 3 battle dwarves, or rather 3 dwarves, 1 of the boars, and 2 of the iron golems. But our prize is massive. We don't have a damaging spell to make great use of the spell power. We're going to take this 1,000 gold. We are going to pick up this artifact. After rescuing a sorceress from a cursed tomb, she rewards your heroism with an exquisite jeweled necklace, and we are grateful for it. Because the sprites are right here, I suppose that we could... I guess we could just take them out real quick for a treasure chest. Sure, why not? Let's do that. So let's do this 2-hex strategy that we were talking about. Swinging gate maneuver right here. If we take out the dwarves, we actually improve in our morale. So we'll do it like this. Mandigal is going to fight these forces. We'll carry on there. Oh, I didn't put it on group formation. No! This fight is ill-advised if you do not put it on group formation. The only thing I can do to make this any better is remove 1 full stack from the fight. But even so, I am not happy. Bad. In fact, that's worse than bad. That's like, oh geez. Oh geez. Group formation strikes again. Group formation strikes again. If you don't have rocks, you can't afford to lose 20-something halflings. You just can't do it. You can't do it. Holy kittens. We're going to slow one more time. That's going to help. Number 1, we need to keep these gargoyles alive for the future archer fights. And number 2, that's going to just give us the space to attack these sprites before we lose any more troops. Folks, absolute disaster. 18 of the halflings, not to mention 2 of the gargoyles. Ugh. Ugh, this treasure chest was not worth it. Fix Fox, what have you done? But we do have some reinforcements. That feels pretty good. We'll put the dwarves where we need to put them. We'll mix up our forces. Yeah, we were going to have a nice strategy to keep the halflings safe and healthy. But somebody failed. Somebody dropped the ball. Who was it? I don't know. We may never know. But we're going to head south with these forces now, knowing that we have very little mana. We're only going to have 2 more slows available to us in the next couple of fights, but I want to get this gem mine as soon as possible. If I am going to go for Cloud Castle, I'm going to need to do that at some point very soon. Let's pick up the marketplace here. We have 350 gold left, but we got 10 wood, 15 ore, 8 mercury, 4 sulfur, 0 crystal, 8 gems. We're probably at least 2 more weeks away. Week and a half away from getting our Cloud Castle. It'll depend. It will depend. Okay. And on we go to a new day. So I think you've gotten to the point where it's fair that you don't have to interact with every single message. I hate to say it. Yeah. Yeah. I love that chat is so interactive, Vammy. I think that that's wonderful that chat is so interactive, but yeah, the distractions, I do get distracted, and that's the problem. But then people come to chat like Boreaser, and I love being able to say, hey there, welcome to the chat. Like that makes me happy. Because I know that everybody is like taking time out of their day to be here. So I do want to recognize everybody. It's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. But yeah, I'm glad Boreaser's having fun here and interacting, and just I get to be the background to their day and to your day. Especially if you are overseas in Europe. Of course, for me, it's about 11 o'clock here in the morning. If it's for you, your evening time, I'm glad I get to help you unwind. That absolutely makes me happy. So I appreciate everybody being here. So wonderful, wonderful. Let's see. Mana instead of spell points when talking about Heroes 2, Bearded Man. Yeah, I think that might be the first time I've ever said that. Of course, these are like spell points. It's not mana, but just a slip of the tongue, I suppose. I don't think it's necessarily... Let's see, is it incorrect? It is incorrect. It's totally incorrect to say what I said, but... I mean... I think that we can all recognize that sometimes they're synonymous. In the same way that anytime you have a video game, and if you're going to have a health bar and a mana bar, we all know. I know it, you know it. Health is red and mana is blue. I'm not telling you, I'm telling you how it is. I wish that I could, prevent you from changing your mind for some other stuff. But that's just the way it is. Like, health is red, mana is blue. And I don't know exactly how it got to that point, but at this point, that color coding is so ingrained into me that I'm never going to change. Like, I don't believe that I can ever live in a game or with a game that doesn't have red health and blue mana. Whether it is, I don't know, maybe, did that start with Diablo? You remember the game from Blizzard, the dungeon crawler, Diablo? That might have been the very first instance of red is health and blue is mana. I might need somebody to go fact check me on that one, but I'm sure that there was other instances, maybe like the old, like the original Duke Nukem, the original side scroller from Apogee Software that you had to download onto a floppy disk. If you know, you know. That one was probably had a similar deal for you, although there was no mana, it was just health and stuff. There's a lot of video game lore out there, and I'm grateful for the people that have been around a long time to enjoy that lore and to help people like me appreciate games for what they're worth. Okay, folks, we're gonna get the dead rocks. Remember, we have them, but we cannot use them. But yeah, all of the video game historians out there, I'm grateful for you, and I appreciate that my life is better because you do a lot of good work. We are gonna come pick up these archers in a little bit. I want to keep these fire elementals here kind of as a guardian to this path. I don't want the enemies to come fight me, but for now, you know, we'll take this. But I am going to use my 6-speed boars to clear all this out. On the way out, we will pick up the archers. Remember, this is a blind. It's a really good spell. We might want to make our way over there pretty quickly. I don't know. We will have to see. Okay, and for the first time, folks, we're going to go to the Oracle. Nestled amongst the trees, you find a blind seer who, upon telling the intent of your journey, looks into their crystal ball and tells you all the wonderful things about your opponents, their strengths and weaknesses. So we are here as the yellow wizard. 0 attack, 1 defense, 6 spell power, 3 knowledge. Our enemies are doing great. Unicorns and liches. But, I mean, we got the better hero. It's all courtesy of the one single artifact, but it's still there. How do we have less income? Folks, look at this. We have a gold mine. We have an extra 1,000 gold per day, and somehow we are less gold than all of you. Wow, it's a good thing we picked up that gold mine. We never would have known how big of a struggle we were in unless we saw this. I felt like we were doing okay, but no, I think that we need to turn this on. Otherwise, it looks like army strength, yeah, we have less. Yeah, we're missing our 4th tier creatures. This might be one of those games where we actually end up using giants. Yeah, crazy. I know. Oh, look how many gems that was. Folks, we just picked up a pile of 4 gems on the ground. This campfire is the second campfire to give us 5 gems. We've picked up 10 gems just from campfire. We're going to get our cloud castle this week. It's day 3. We have 17 gems. Folks, we're going to do it. Now, we do need to get the ivory tower. So it's actually 25 gems is the total that we're looking for. But at this point, I will trade for that. This is a very big day. What a good moment. Lovely. Okay. My day just got much better. Okay. Sometimes life throws you lemons, and sometimes life just says, you know what, you've been working hard. You've been working hard. Just, you know, take it easy. Take a rest. Take a load off your shoulders. Rest from your cares and your worries. And I have to say this. I was thinking about this the other day. Folks, what is Heroes of Might and Magic 2? It's a simple question, but I think it's a very important question. What is Heroes of Might and Magic 2? Now, of course, it's something different for every single person. Everybody has a different feeling and belief and experience with Heroes of Might and Magic, but when it comes right down to it, I think that we can all agree on a couple of things. Number one, as an older game, it is charming. Heroes of Might and Magic is the sort of thing that you could say, I would love to live in this mystical, magical world. It is beautiful. The sprite work, the art, it's lovely. And it will never stop being lovely. It's just fantastic. Heroes of Might and Magic is timeless. Heroes of Might and Magic gives you the opportunity to feel like you were when you were a kid. It's like eating comfort food. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is just so comforting. It's also challenging. It's also the kind of thing that's going to prevent me from being in the nursing home and not, you know, being cognizant, right? I truly believe that right now I'm putting this away. I'm trying to make sure that I end up being very, very much sharp and shiny in my olden era when it comes eventually, my olden days. So it's tactically engaging. It's beautiful to look at. It's comforting. It's relaxing. I think it's relaxing. I think it's relaxing. All of these things, though, are to say that while your experience might differ a little bit with Heroes of Might and Magic, something about this game just hits right. It just feels good. And I'm grateful for it. I don't think that I knew what I had when I was a kid and I was playing this game. I don't think I knew. I do not think I understood exactly what I was getting myself into. Because how could you? As a young person, you don't know. You don't know. Hey, this is one of the great... That was a big moment. This is one of the greatest all-time games. You don't know that when you're a young person you're playing it. I do now, though. And I'm grateful that I understand now what I didn't understand when I was a young person. So, for all the people that comment on the YouTube videos later and say, hey, Fix Fox, thanks for the playthroughs. I love what you're doing. Keep it up. I first played this game when I was looking over my dad's shoulder or my brother's shoulder or an uncle or whatever. I'm glad that we share that. And I'm glad that this gets to be the game that we share with that experience, because there's something magical about that. And I don't think that just any game can go with that. I don't think that just any game has that quality. I don't think just any game could do what Heroes of Might and Magic does in that regard. So I know I'm getting a little bit sentimental on you here, but it's a very important thing in my opinion, and I'm very grateful for it. Folks, we found another pile of gems. That's only 3 gems, but that's going to be enough. We do have a trading post not too far away. If that was not going to be enough, it's definitely enough now. And so I think that we are going to have to make a decision. Having picked up a crystal mine, an alchemist slab, a gem mine, should we go for the sulfur? That will be the last precious resource generating mine out there. We'll have to fight veteran pikemen one more time, but I think that we're going to have the forces, and I think that we saved enough, yes, mana, spell points for that fight, for this exact upcoming thing. So we're going to grab that. We're going to grab this +2 to spell power from the caster's bracelet in just a moment, and we're going to be happy for it. But Ivory Tower today, and we have a couple of days to pick up our Cloud Castle, folks. We're going to get it very soon. I don't think that there's... Do we need ore? No. We got wood and ore. We're good. We just need gold. Okay. We're going to pick it up in a day or two, and we're going to be very happy for it. Oh, it was a green mana bar. Here I am postulating for hours on end about mana being blue and health being red. No, it was green. Are we sure that that's not a Mandela effect? Are we sure that that's actually the way it is? Because I could have swore. And I'm glad I didn't, because it's probably not, it's unbecoming to swear over such silly things, but I could have swore. So, yeah. Oh, Mushanki Pei's in the chat. Hello, Mushanki Pei. Nice to have you here. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. Mushanki Pei, before I forget, would you be okay if I did a Fix Fox shoutcast on your blistering playthrough of 24 days total in the luck map that you did for the Kelvin Open? I did ask Winnie Maru. I didn't just do it, right? I want to be respectful, and it's your intellectual property, and, you know, I want to be respectful. Are you okay if I do that? Please let me know. I would like to know. And yes, totally super close, bearded man, to getting into our Cloud Castle. We're going to get there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But first, through the veteran pikemen. Could you imagine if we lost this fight? Could you imagine? Huh. I could. I could. But we do have three spells to cast. That's either 3 slows or 2 slows and a bloodlust. We're going to fight this fight. All right, and we're going to call this good. This was even less forces than we had to deal with last time. No complaints about that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm very happy to hear that. Oh, but Diablo did have the red-blue mana? Okay, good. I'm glad I wasn't crazy on that. Or am I? Again, is this a Mandela effect? These are the things that I need to know. Last time we moved the boars out of position and everybody went south. I'm gonna just skip so I know where the enemies want to go. I guess the 22 halflings are just better than these centaurs, and that's okay. We're probably gonna slow this stack of veteran pikemen. They're 4. Let's start to work on this one. You're gonna step up. That was like minimal damage. It's always fun when the halflings do no damage. Because they could do so much damage and they just chose not to? Question mark? Oh, and look at this. Because we covered up the halflings completely, the enemy did decide to go north towards the undefended centaurs. Do I like that or not? I don't know. I don't think I mind. I'm never going to get any additional centaurs. I don't think I mind. I think it's okay. I think it'll be fine. If I had my preference, like would you rather sort of a deal, I think I'd rather all the enemies just kind of crash against this barrier here But you know, it'll work out. 1, 2, 3. You can't actually move the boars up, otherwise the stack of veteran pikemen will get into the halflings. You have to skip. You are obligated to skip. Thankfully, the dwarves take the damage here instead of the centaurs. The centaurs, that's only the second instance of bad morale this entire game. We are blessed. No, no, no. The halflings wish they were blessed, so they were doing max damage, but they're not. That's not how that works. I'm gonna help the dwarves because it would be nice to free up 16 centaurs worth of damage here. Dwarves, I'm going to lose 1 in just a moment or two. These iron golems, I'm going to lose 1 of this retaliation, down to 7. Boars are going to get into this fight, 1 to 2. They killed 2 veteran pikemen, very nice. And then because this stack of veteran pikemen can get to the centaurs, we're going to attack them right now and just see if we can get ourselves free of these enemies. The final stack of veteran pikemen are going to go down. I think at this point we can just hit Q and in the battle. So 2 centaurs, 2 dwarves, 1 iron golem. I don't know if that was the losses from the previous time or not. Maybe I fought that fight better. I don't know. I do not know, but I do know that while searching through the rubble of a caved-in mine, by freeing a group of trapped dwarves, we are going to be given this caster's bracelet of magic. Lovely, lovely. And now we have 1 of each precious generating mine. That's good. I think it's time, folks. I think it's time that we send the bulk of our forces back home. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to send... Let's see, I'm going to keep all the slow creatures, literally all of the slow creatures here on Alamar. We're going to send all the fast creatures with Mandagal so we can get back. And I think I'm going to forego Titans. I don't know. Is it a bad decision? Usually it is. Usually it's a bad decision. Sprites, I'd like to go through them actually. It's usually a really bad decision to do that. To hire giants before they turn into titans, if for no other reason than the opportunity cost, because you're never ever ever going to upgrade them from giants into titans. If you do, you have so much money and so many extra resources that you should be embarrassed. So what to do and how to do it. I think we will go through the sprites. We will make a decision on whether or not we pick up the giants. It might come down to whether or not we can use the giants to pick up this dragon city. That's really kind of my thought process there. If you can use giants and dwarves and stuff to take out dragons here, okay, great. It's worth it to get the red dragons early. Is that possible? Are there any other neutral dwellings on the map? We already saw archers. We picked up sprites. Those aren't going to help. I think that there's like a troll bridge over here somewhere. That's not really going to help. Tons and tons of ogres actually could be useful. We will see. But for now, it's day 5 on Duna Day. And then live is red. Yeah, Roman. Yeah, it's red for health. Mana is blue. Stamina is yellow in Diablo and green in Elder Scrolls. Oh, you know what? That's a game I never played. I definitely think I should have played Elder Scrolls at some point. Like Skyrim, I definitely should have played that at some point. I just never did. I never did. Fix Fox, are you a real gamer if you've never played Skyrim? I mean, I think I am. You'll have to tell me. I don't know. But these are the questions that keep me up at night. We're gonna we're gonna do this correctly this time. Remember, we're trying to save the halflings. I don't care if I lose centaurs. And this time we're just gonna put on group formation and, oh wait, hold on. One more thing. I do need the 6-speed creatures here. Yeah, and let me show you what the plan was the first time. Hey, look, that looks much better. So on group formation here, if you have two Mekaleka Salaba, Beam Salabim. I don't know what it means. It's very old. But whatever it is, it seems appropriate to calm ourselves down. Goose Fraba. Calm down. Be okay. It'll be okay. We're going to stone skin the halflings. They're going to stay alive. The plan was to have these gargoyles who were supposed to go first to just move in front of the halflings so they didn't take any damage. At this point, that plan is all for naught. We will lose 4 halflings at least. I don't think that the enemy sprites are going to just focus on these sprites. They will? No, really? Will you really? Because I want them to come down the battlefield in range of my boars and stuff. I don't think I'm going to kill all the sprites here. I don't. All right, at least 1 additional stat came up so I can stabby. I can do some damage. It's so fun when these moments happen. It's really fun. It's really fun because the alternative is that everything works out exactly the way that I think it will, and that's not fun. I mean, it could be considered high-level gameplay, but I think that it's fun to actually have some failures here and there sprinkled in. You know, like it's kind of like adding salt to a dish. If there's too much failure, it's not fun. It ruins the dish. But if there's a little bit of failure, it's kind of fun. And that makes my day better. Okay, you got to go back because you got to get a full set of mana / spell points. There's another blind. 2 shrines. Pick your poison, whichever one you'd prefer. But either of them will get you what you need. I don't really want to pick up this Book of the Elements. It will double the effectiveness of your summoning spells. I don't know the likelihood of me getting any summoning spells, and if rogues hop out of the bush and attack me, I'll be very, very sad. So we're not going to do that. We're going to sit here at this trading post just in case, but do recall it's day 6, so we don't have to get the Cloud Castle today. We are missing a little bit of gems. We'll get there. We'll get there. So you stay there. You hold on to the slow troops. And Marini, no, maybe she should just kind of go in this direction. Again, I'm gearing up for taking this Dragon City. Archers aren't going to help me do that. Maybe I can use these archers to clear out some of the bad lands here to the south. Before I do that, though, let's make sure that she does have these level 1 spells. It's going to be the Bloodlust, Shield, and the Slow, which is lovely. And then she's going to head to the south. So down we go. Down, down, down we go. Having a lovely time. Roman never did play Skyrim, but watch your brothers over their shoulders. Yeah, absolutely. That's another one of those games, though, that maybe has that level of care and concern. Blessed man, or bearded man, blessed man. So much talk about being blessed. Yeah, you know. Hey, if people are blessed, I support them in that. I support them in having a blessed day for whatever makes sense to them. Whatever makes most sense to them. Styx is back in the chat. Hello, Styx. Nice to have you here. Welcome, welcome. And Roman has gifted a whole boatload of subs. Roman, thank you so very, very much for the subs gifted. That's going to go to Castonia, Omexek, Heathode, Marino, and to Styx. Perfect. Thank you so very much, Roman. It's a pleasure to have you here always. Thank you so much for supporting the FixVox community. I am always grateful to have you here. And I'm grateful for the help. I'm grateful for the support. It's never required, but man, I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for your time and energy. It's definitely a pleasure. Thank you. Okay. Tree City. I tell you what, I kind of want to go pick up this up. It's day 7. So remember, we do have to get our Cloud Castle today. We're still short 1 gem. That's okay. We've got a plan. Here. And I think we might as well just trade the Mercury. We've had the Alchemist Lab the longest. So let's do it just like that. Boop. Week 2 Cloud Castle. That's not bad. That's not bad. I know that we didn't get our Magi in week 1, but a week 2 Cloud Castle, that's not bad. And I'm very grateful for it. And look at this. We just barely, by the skin of our teeth, made it in with 5 additional movement points left. We made it in overnight. We're going to stay here, and we're going to be ready to go first thing in the morning. Will we go to the Dragon City? I'm not too sure. I'm probably going to have to come back and trade for more gems in just a moment or two. Well, let me... FixVox luck. That felt great, folks. This is the blessed playthrough. This is like the RNG playthrough, right? We picked up 2 campfires with 5 gems each. We found 2 piles of gems. We just found 5 gems in the wagon. This magic garden didn't hit for us. Not only gave us gold, but still, like, that's not too bad. And now I'm not even gonna have to trade for giants in just a little bit. That's great. That's perfect. Perfect. We are out of movement points, and we are on to month 1, week 3, day 1. Week of the Raven. All dwellings do increase in population. Let's not purchase these sprites just yet. I do believe that we're going to be very, very short on gold. Streamer luck. Yeah, this is a streamer luck kind of a moment. Holy cow. Holy kittens. Grateful for it. Very grateful for it. We are going to need, 4 giants against dragons. So we don't have any offensive spells. Basically, against dragons right now, what can we do? We can Bloodlust, and that's it. We can Bloodlust our forces. Our Iron Golems, Giants, 16 Dwarves, 18 Dwarves. Is that going to win you this fight, though? I want it to. Oh, I want it to so bad. If I was a might-based hero, I think that we could do it. But with 1 attack, 1 defense, it's so tough. Is there a tier 2 spell that would maybe help me take this fight? Now that's a question for you. I mean, Dragon Slayer's out there. It's possible. It's possible. We're going to go for the level 2 Mage Guild. Our main hero is there. They're going to pick up Disrupting Ray, Cold Ray, Summon Boat. Summon Boat might be interesting. I don't know if you can summon Boat on this map. Like, I don't know if there's a free boat that's just like in the middle of the ocean that you can just summon. I just don't know the answer. But actually, hold on. Summon Boat's really interesting because look, you got area here, and I think that there's a whirlpool. And there's also area just here to the left of the map. There's not seas and stuff to the right of the map. Folks, we could potentially... Hold on. How about this? So it's week 3. Our enemies do have an advantage over us. Let's forego the Dragon City. Like, we want it, but I just don't think it's a right idea. What if we see if we can summon a boat? And what if we get into the boat? And what if we sail across the little lake and we surprise our enemies? That sounds like a good idea. It's all dependent on whether or not we will be able to summon a boat here. Let's give it a shot. Ah, rats. There are no boats available for this spell to summon. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Pretty sure you can create a boat if there are none. Now, I do know that there needs to be some boats on the map, and there just are none in this case. Sometimes map makers will do that, though. They will just allow there to be a boat. What this means really is that you have to go to Blackwind and get a boat, and then you can use the boat in the whirlpool. You can. I don't think it's going to be that necessary, but you can. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Oyster, by the way, never played many of the classic games, and you still feel good as a gamer. Yeah, games connect us. They don't divide us. I'm definitely for that. And yeah, I think that Roman agrees with that. Definitely. Perfect. Yeah, games bringing us all together. It's a shared experience. Games are a shared experience. It's like, oh man, my childhood was great. Wait, you had the same thing from your childhood? Like, that's super cool when that happens. And you have that thing to bond over. I love that. I think I still want to do this. It's just a bad idea at this point, though. We could always go lith hopping. We could just go lith hopping. We could get ourselves up to the upgraded Cloud Castle, and just use 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th level creatures. That would work. It's not my favorite strategy. I would love to do something exciting and fight the dragons, but I just don't think it's going to be worth our time. I don't think it's going to be. I just don't think it's going to work as well as we would have hoped. So tell you what, folks, we are going to start going back into this direction for Blackwind. We're going to use these slower forces. This is still a really significant army here with Alamar. Mandagal is going to set off first thing in the morning. We're going to take the time to pick up these tree city sprites. I don't want to go through these sprites there. We are going to go a long way around. And then Croto has reached the end of their day. They're going to go back over to the trading post. They're probably going to pick up this Magic Garden in just a second. And then we will see where this takes us from now. So not as exciting of a moment as I wanted it to be. Like, sometimes the decisive moment in the game feels like it's worth every penny. This time, it feels like it's not a bad idea just to play a little bit more, a little bit slower, a little bit more conservative. How about a little more cautious? So we're going to play this just a little bit more cautious, and I'll be very sad if that ultimately is my downfall. Okay, but let's consider then, we don't want to pick up any of these giants. We're going to pick up everybody else, though. It's going to be 18 of the halflings. It's going to be, do I go for the iron golems? We got 16. We've got 16 mercury. I think we're going to go for the steel golems because now our army is going to be faster and we're going to get this opportunity here. We're out of gold, though. We're already out of gold. That's crazy. 2,000 gold just doesn't cover what it used to. We can go north, pick up some free stuff, and then come back down. We'll come back later. I don't think that the enemies are going to go through the northern position. This is going to give us the time to pick up some gold. We're not going to be as fast as I wanted to be. That's okay, but we'll get through it. Alamar is going to pick up this castle. I do want the idea of getting, whoa, into the water with a boat. I do think that that's going to be pretty useful for us, so let's plan on doing that. StarVT's in the chat. Hello, StarVT. Nice to have you here. This one's not Broken Lines. This one is Wait, did I put it, that it was Broken Alliance in the stream information? Nah, this should be. What is this? Holy kittens! What is this? Beltway. This is Beltway. Yeah, but one of my all-time personal favorite maps, and still an absolute classic. No matter who you talk to, I still think it's a bona fide classic. Okay, we brought down the Centaur stacks enough that the enemies are going to give us a little bit of reprieve. I think we're just going to back off of the Centaurs. Losing some there. Good morale, not once, but twice. Halflings are going to split. I think I just got to send the dwarves down and just let the iron golems deal with this big force here. I wish I'd picked up the cold ray. I thought I had. Elmar never did come back though, did he? 2 gargoyles here. Yeah, this will work. It's not my favorite. And then we're going to probably just reapply the curse. Just a moment or two. Let's curse these 5 to 10 bits of damage. We're just going to make sure we juggle the curse. These guys will deal with it. They will deal with it. Iron golems still have to go. We're just going to inch closer. Ever closer. Gargoyles are such a good unit. There is no other flying 6-speed creature in the game that's only 1 hex. There are 2 hex flying creatures, but there's no 1 hex flying creature. That's a big deal. That's not a small thing. Because what it does is that allows you to potentially get into the enemy in little places where they're trying to defend like this. And they can't defend effectively against these gargoyles. The gargoyles are just going to be sticky. They're going to be just right on top of you at any given moment. And that feels bad if you are trying to defend against them. Feels really, really good if you are trying to outmaneuver your opponent. So gargoyles, I think that even if I have an army full of other 6-tier creatures like phoenixes and cyclopes and paladins, I think I'm still going to find a way to take gargoyles along with me because they're just that good of a force. Truly, that's how I feel about it. Let's do this again. Yeah, maybe kill one. I'm anticipating that these griffins are going to pull off in just a second. They might not. They might not. After it makes less sense to defend your centaur friends. Okay, at this point I think that even these ranged creatures can deal with the griffins if they come their way. Alright, we're gonna get out of this fight. Oof. 1 cold ray would have been awesome there, but we have the forces, we've used them as such, and we're gonna pick up this navigation. Who knows? Who knows? Now, we do have to upgrade this to a castle if we're gonna want to get a shipyard. At least we've got this strategic point for now. And then we'll figure it out from there. All right, let's go pick up just more castles. Maybe not the most striking strategy, but it will be effective, I'm sure. Poor morale because 3 different troops of different alignments. Okay, not great. Lots of nomads. I don't think I can take that with this force. Nah, with the cold ray I can. With the cold ray I can. We do see for the first time Ariel the Sorceress. It looks like as we steal 4 crystal for free. There's our Freeman's Foundry, by the way, in case you didn't notice. We're going to want that pretty soon. We're going to hit spacebar a couple of times because I think that these liths go to more than just one place. I think. It's been a while since I played this map. Maybe not. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just make sure that we stay here because we want to control if people come in or not into our section of the map. It's a small thing, but it'll make sure that life goes much better for us. I never did pick up this water wheel? No, watering hole. I did pick up the water wheel, but not the watering hole. Juggle our forces back, just waiting for gems. On to a new day. Why does the stream say Broken Alliance if you're playing Beltway? I don't know, that's my bad. Did it say Broken Alliance? I was in a Broken Alliance kind of a mind, I guess. That was totally my bad. I totally messed that up. Oh, I can call you Star. I will call you Star from here on out. Remind me if I fail at that. I'm a little bit embarrassed. So, all right, I'm a little bit embarrassed about this, and so I apologize in advance to everybody. My memory is not as good as I wish it was. And there's weird things where like my working memory is perfectly fine. Like I can hold multiple things in my head at the same time. Clearly, if you're playing Heroes of Might and Magic and you're playing it, you know, fairly well, you are doing an awful lot of that, where you are focusing on the game at hand. You're remembering, oh, there's a Freeman's Foundry over there. Oh, there's +5 gems over there. And you just kind of spatially remember where everything's at. I do that without any problems. That's not a problem. The problem is that like turning short-term memory into long-term memory, I don't do that as well as I wish I did. I don't think it's like a diagnosable deficiency of some kind for myself, but I do know that I'm below standard on that with others. And so sometimes people will tell me things and they'll say, hey, didn't you remember this? And I'll have to say, I'm so sorry, I don't remember that conversation. I don't remember that happened. Now imagine how tough that is if I am trying to work with clients and I'm trying to remember these little conversations. I live by sticky notes. This is big. Mandigal's picking up leadership. Ooh, that's big. I live by sticky notes in my job because I have to write things down. And so I do the sticky notes right there as soon as something happens. So that way I have a little nugget of reference, and then I translate that into an online record like a computer program or something later down the road, just because I can't stand it if people come back later and say, yeah, don't you remember that you had this conversation with me? And I'll say, no, I don't remember that. And unfortunately, there's times where I have been able to figure out that people have actually tried to take advantage of that. They've figured out, oh, FixFox, sometimes he struggles with that little memory type stuff. And they'll say, yeah, don't you remember that you told me that I could do this or do that? As a juvenile probation officer, people have terms and conditions, but I also try and be flexible to make sure that if there's a good reason for something that we can, still stick to the letter of the law, but also with the spirit of the law, we can get people what they need. And there's been times where I've had to say, no, I know I didn't tell you that because I never tell anybody that. And I never tell anybody that because I know that I might not remember that I told you that later. And I don't want to put myself in that situation or you in that situation where FixFox just forgot. And that's not fair to you, right? So there's many a times where people are like, hey, can I have this one exception to this rule this one time? And I'll tell them no, because I know for sure, like, I'm not gonna be able to remember. So all of this is just to say, Star VT, aka Star. In the future, if I call you Star VT, please just give me a gentle reminder, because I do sometimes forget these things, and it bothers me. It's like embarrassing, kind of like as a guy, because you want to be seen by others as being competent, right? You want other people to you don't want people to think that you're unreliable, or at least I don't. And maybe to some degree that's a certain amount of caring too much about what people think about you. But if I don't have my pride, what else do I have, right? Like, there's good pride and there's bad pride. If I don't have that level of pride, what else do I have? I don't know. Here's the things I think about. Here's the things that keep me up at night. You can ask FixFox's wife. She'll tell you. It's like, oh yeah, he just can't put that one to rest, can he? No, he cannot. Okay, folks, we've got nothing but steel golems on the map here. I think that with steel golems, we can go through these nomads here. I say I think, like I know we can. I just don't know if this is worth my time. So long as the enemies leave me alone, and it does appear that purple and red have been fighting over here. So long as they continue to fight each other, I'm just gonna kind of take a knee and run out the clock. I'm going to let them fight each other, weaken each other, and then I will come out on top later. Oh, look at this. We can actually get through here? Can we get through here? Oh, no. Yes, you can. Oh, look at this. You can path through the watering hole. I thought that I was just blocked off here. No. You can path through here. Nifty. And you can fight these enemies. We're not going to lose 12 sprites, but we can do that. That was so cool. Did you see that? I love that. Beltway Alliance, Spirited Man. It's Beltway Alliance. Yep. That's the one. That's the one. I'm going to do one slow. All I have to do is just babysit this fight, make sure that the sprites don't do something dumb. But if we can prevent that, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So this one slow is just it's just an insurance policy. Just make sure nothing crazy happens. Okay. Here and there. Good. In fact, I think I can attack here because at this point I can just hit Q. And the battle will be won without issue. And I can pick up another day of watering hole because I just fought a fight. Will the steel golems want to join me? Now that's a question. Marini has diplomacy, but not Mandigal. But I do have creatures that are like them. Depends on how many there are here. Let me take one more step. Lots of steel golems? No way. I don't have enough. I don't have enough meat in my army to make that happen, unfortunately. Bit of a shame, really. Okay, not purchasing giants and knowing that there's like probably 7 more days before I can trade for this upgraded cloud castle. I am going to figure out the best forces. I'm going to leave the Magi for now. Gotta leave the rocks. Maybe it's time to take the Magi. We might never upgrade the Magi in this game. 5,600 gold. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's have Marini bring these forces down. Yes, even the Gargoyle. And we should be able to re-up here in about 2 days. Man, she moved far. Good work. You go, Marini. Good job. Okay, on to a new day. So I think that I've determined that purple is in this position right here. It makes sense because they've got this sawmill. So purple's here and then red's up there. I guess we saw Gem, the red sorceress, over here later, like earlier in the playthrough. So I guess that always made sense. But just in case you missed it, that makes the most sense to me as far as where our enemies are positioned. And oh boy, is it nice that they are positioned in a place where they are fighting each other. We're going to continue to let them do that. I don't think I can reach Mandagal from here. Especially if I'm wasting, especially if I'm wasting movement points. Getting these forces all into one army. Might be time to let go of the centaurs. 6-speed, gargoyles, Marini. And I'm going to send Alamar back up because there's a cold ray up there. And he does have 6 spell power. How did you get 6 spell power? How are you level 4? This guy is a good secondary hero. Oh my goodness. Yeah, get this guy a cold ray. Wow. Here I was just a second ago saying, yeah, FixFox remembers all these little things on these maps. You missed that one though, didn't ya? There we go. I think this is the first time you said it, so don't feel bad at all. Perfect. I really appreciate that that validation. Because I would have worried. I would have worried like, hey, did Star ask me once before and I just forgot? Yeah, I would have felt bad. So thank you for letting me know. I do appreciate that. We're just gonna position ourselves here for this upcoming day. I don't know, maybe I can even reach myself. Hold on, do you need the watering hole? No, you already got that. We'll go to here. Yeah, she'll come through and we'll just wait for this fight here before anything. Maybe the steel golems will join us if we have enough forces. We'll wait and see. But that's gonna be day 7 that we're at. Red does not want to fight purple. Purple is kicking red's butt. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then with all these forces, let's do some damage. I think it's time to let go of the sprites for now. And then just because of morale issues, do you want to keep the archers? I think 3 range creatures is not too bad. Let's make sure these steel golems join us. Hey, that's a big moment. That is actually enough forces to go pick up the Dragon City. A group of steel golems have a desire for greater glory and wish to join you. Do you accept? Yes, I do. We go from 11 up to 32. I think that that's enough. I think that's enough to go take this Dragon City, folks. Now, the Spellbinder's Hat, don't really need that. Our spell power is so super crazy. The Crystal Mine, don't really need that. I don't really need anything up here, but I think I'm going to path right through these nomads. We're going to go up. We're going to go get ourselves some red dragons, and we're going to have a really good time. Folks, the break we needed. That was the moment where everything changed for FixFox and for our Fix friends near and far. Very good. My day just got better. Because, sure, if you just wait until you get Titans, yeah, it'll work. It's not great, though. Much better that we do something exciting, because then maybe with a couple of red dragons, we can actually be on multiple sides of the map at different times. It just feels like it'll be pretty useful for us. Okay, we're going to lose the archer. Doesn't hurt my feelings. We're going to take the mysticism over the estates. I don't think the gold is that important in this playthrough anymore. I really don't, oddly enough. I'm going to let the sprites run. And then might as well pick up this level 1 spell on our way up. Very good. Very good. What happened to the dwarves? What happened to the dwarves? Are they over here? 12 dwarves? We're going to see if we can go pick those up real quick. Marini is going to be very busy for the next little bit. Crystal Obelisk. I did not even know that there was an ultimate artifact on this map. It's going to be right in the holdings of the Necromancer forces. It looks like there's very, very few artifact slots, actually, or rather ultimate artifact obelisks. That's crazy. It's very crazy. Can you do a prediction? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it, Vammy. Go have super much fun. I trust you. Whatever you want to do with that, absolutely go for it. You always have my permission to do polls. You always have my permission to do predictions. You always have my permission to do those sorts of fun things. So by you being proactive in doing that, you make the stream better. So I have trusted you to do that. Go ahead. Okay, it's a shield spell, not too bad. Not too great either. I do want to get rid of these archers. They're kind of slow. Let's do this little swap here for now, because they're not going to be important for that upcoming fight. And then let's see if we can hero chain the dwarves back up. I think I will take the dwarves, even though they're going to be slow. Day 2. Almost up to, I say almost up to Titans. Here and here. Little swap. Little swap. Win channel points if you make the correct prediction. Ah, Vammy, you're so good at that. Right on. And my question's going to be, what is the prediction going to be? Will Fixfox beat the Dragon Utopia? Dragon City? I didn't realize that you thought it was that close of a decision until just now. I thought it was like a for sure kind of a victory, and now I'm not too sure. The plan was always, though, to... Well, not always, but at some point I realized that we could get really close to Titans. And so even like 1 or 2 Titans makes the fight super winnable. But we do have to go to this trading post to make that happen. Unless Marini can get there in 2 turns. Yeah, let's do it like this. To here. To here. Because we're going to want to leave the halflings anyway. They're just going to be absolutely useless for our purposes. And how far is Alamar going to be able to get? He's going to be able to get right about to here. Jeez, that's not very far, is it? Do I just let go of these archers? They never did any combat. I'm going to let go of the archers just so I can be as fast as possible, because gold is actually going to be very, very in short supply pretty quickly. So Mandigal is going to go up right about to here. And I'll plan on Alamar making it over there in 1 day. And it's going to be, yeah, Marini's going to make sure we trade for the gems we need. Even 1 or 2 Titans is going to go a long way. And at that point, we're going to roll Titans and Dragons into a victory, regardless of whether or not we have rocks. Regardless of whether or not we have the rocks. All right. Ooh, a prediction. Oh, and Soren Denmark. Hey, thank you so much for telling me that my baby is super cute. I really appreciate that. Yeah, my baby is super cute. And the baby has not been seen. The fixed baby has not been seen since December of last year. And so it was really kind of nice to be able to just show off how big and cute that kid is. Because golly, I don't know if you know this, but Fix's wife absolutely adores that kid. Absolutely adores that kid. And I'm good with it. Whatever she wants to do to make that baby happy, go for it. There's very few things in my life that I'll be like, yeah, I don't mind if you know, spend money for. Like, I'm kind of frugal. I don't tend to spend money if I can possibly help it. That just isn't my favorite thing to do. Other people, they might not have qualms. I get it, no worries. But for me, man, I hate to spend money if I don't need to. If it comes down to the fixed kid though, or the fixed baby, go for it. Go for it. And she will do so. And that kid will have the cutest outfits, and that kid will have just the happiest childhood. And very few things else matter to me. Makes me happy. Okay. All right, folks. So for this prediction, it's going to be Mandigal, who's going to have 9 spell power, $5, 1 attack, 1 defense. He is going to have 3 Titans, 31 of the Steel Golems, a couple of Dwarves, a couple of Boars, Magi. We're going to have good morale because we do have the leadership, which is nice. And we're going to go fight this fight very, very first thing in the morning. We will pick up the gazebo. Another 1,000 experience. It's not going to factor into the plans here. Let's hit end turn. We will watch red gallivant around in the purple player's territory. Oh, they have no idea what's about to happen to them. I'm about to get dragons, and you're about to suffer. You stand before the Dragon City, a place off limits to mere humans. Do you wish to violate this rule and challenge the dragons to a fight? You better believe it. Here we go. And when the AI thinks it's going to be a glorious victory, you know things are in a good spot. Group formation strikes again. Oh, you can't be on grouped formation. Dragons have a double hex attack. No. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Why are we like this? I'm going to try and save these Magi. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the pre-battle, whether or not they were was going to lose any or not. Golly, but I definitely know for sure that I don't want to lose any Magi if I can help it. So I'm going to move the boars out of the way. Yeah, all right. All right. I'm just going to skip. La Rosa on the FixFox Discord, very funny, and they mentioned last time, they're like, oh, I need to update the meme, because there's a meme where it says, if I had a nickel for every single time FixFox forgot to turn off group formation, I would only have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's still weird that it's happened twice. And then they said, I need to update it so that way it reflects that we had done it a 3rd time. And now they're going to have to update the meme for a 4th time. That's just the way, that's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh, group formation there, issue 200, 200. Oh, I thought we were going to kill the dragon there, but they already took their retaliation, so it's fine. Can I position any worse? Can I position any worse? Oh my goodness, just because you're going to win the fight anyway doesn't mean that you just abandon all reason. My goodness. This is worse than that YouTube short we did where we were on Colossal Caverns and we turned on auto combat and we let our own red dragons toast our own halflings. This is even worse than that. Insane. Absolutely nutty. We are going to get a nice flame breath attack here. Perfect. That'll work. Retaliation, no problems. Well, it cost us everything except for the Titans, which really the Titans were the big deal in the first place, but we're going to get out of this fight. This is not going to be my #1 fight of all time, but we did get through it. Okay. All right. We survived. 10 of the steel golems, all of the magi, all the boars. Goodness gracious. But we will pick up basic luck and we will go to the Dragon City. And tomorrow we will trade for whatever we need in order to get this taken care of. Perfect. All right. So for the prediction, if you indicated that you thought FixFox was going to win, then oh boy, my dear friends, you were completely correct. Yes, FixFox did win, but did he win in style? And I think that we all know that the answer is no. No, we did not win in style. So very sad. Very sad. Yeah, bearded man group formation is my bane. On the one hand, it's so good. If you can use it correctly, it's a high skill maneuver. It can definitely be the difference between a win and a loss. But as you can obviously see here, if you fail to use it correctly, it will hurt you. My goodness. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope your food is delicious. So, chef's kiss. Take very good care. Hope that your food is very excellent indeed. And then yeah, Soren Denmark, yeah, so your kids, so your oldest is 17. Oh wow, I love that. Absolutely love that. Are your kids involved with Heroes Might and Magic? Have you shown them the game? Have you tried to get them to enjoy your other hobbies, your gaming hobbies? That'd be pretty interesting. Star, it sounds like, was completely correct, and Tundar was completely correct. Lovely. Way to go, folks. I'm glad you chose right. Now, it would not have hurt my feelings if you put money on me to lose that fight. That actually makes me happy. I don't need yes men. I need people that are gonna give it to me straight. Tell me how it really is, you know? And if I'm making a mistake, well, I have to trust that you are gonna have my best interests at heart, and you're gonna let me know if you think that I'm about to do something foolish. Tell you what's not foolish. Taking out the sorceresses. I don't know if they're gonna be tougher to deal with, or if the necromancers are going to be tougher to deal with, but with more titans coming, with these red dragons, my life is good. I think that it's going to be Alamar that's going to leave very, very quickly. It's going to be, let's see, as soon as he can get a couple of titans, he's probably going to go through these lifts, pop out here, and then go deal with purple. I'm not going to work my way up the road, but with his spell power, he's a perfect secondary hero. I feel like this one is in the bag. In the bag. And we still had the exciting moment with the Dragon City. So, very good. It's going to be much more gold there as necessary. Quick step here, quick step there. In fact, I'm probably going to trade all my resources in just a moment. Before Alamar leaves, we will trade all of our resources. Yeah, and then and that way, we're going to say we're never going to have a level 3 mage guild. Although he does have 6 spell power, that could be worthwhile. I just don't think it's going to be necessary. I think that we are so very overwhelming in our capabilities here. I don't think the enemies have a chance. So we're going to wait one more day before we send Alamar off. We're going to trade everything here with Marini right now. Like so. Boom. Oh, don't trade resources. You need sulfur for dragons. You need mercury? No, we don't need mercury. We need gems for titans. Here. Trade for 6 gems total. Let's even get ourselves up to 8 gems just in case. But yeah, this is only 2 titans worth. That's all that is going to buy you. 10k gold does not go as far as it used to. Okay. I still think that that's going to be enough. With the 6 spell power, I still think that's going to be enough. I guess I could go up here and clear all this out, use the gold real quick to head on south later. Let's do that very quickly. Shipwreck survivors, glorious victory, ghosts, super dead. And then this is going to be Red's castle, folks. Are they going to go down? It looks like they're going to go down, but it's going to be a little costly. Titans, dragons. Ooh, that's a little nifty. That's a little weird. Do a poll. Will Pixfox complete the map in less than 10 days? 9. I bet I could try very, very hard. I bet that I could. I bet I could, actually. I think I could. I could try. All I can do is try. I think I can make this happen, though. I'm going to kill here. I should probably stone skin. It's not going to matter too much to me. We kill 1, 2 phoenixes there. I don't know how the AI lost a dragon and a phoenix. That's actually not very interesting. How did you lose those forces? Because you're gonna use steel golems to take out the phoenixes. Oh, we just lost a dragon there? What? What? Unicorns did 106 damage. Oh, it's because you're a barbarian. 3 attack, 2 defense. We have 1 and 1. No, that still doesn't even make any sense. Like the good luck, surely. Battledores did 8 damage. I'm amazed that we just lost a dragon there. That's insane. It's crazy. You did 350 points of damage. I don't get it. I don't get it. We're going to get out of this fight, but I don't get it. Disrupting Ray on the Titans, and so we lose a Titan there. Okay. Wow. That is... I'm very surprised at how good of a fight these enemies have put up. That is very impressive, actually. So they do run. We're going to take the pathfinding because I know there's bad terrain on this map in places. We're going to be happy to have a fireball and a cold ring and stuff, but man, I am not as tough as I thought I was. I still think I could do it well, but this makes me very happy that we're sending Alamar up here. Yeah, that makes me much happier, actually. Huh, weird. But Roman, yeah, you got your kids, they're a little too young to play Heroes Might and Magic with them, but eventually they will. For now, it's like the tabletop games. I think that's excellent. My kid, I'm just getting to the point with him where he loves books, and that makes me so happy. Because he's a smart kid, and every single time I ask him, what's this? What's this? He knows the answer, and he knows stuff about it that I didn't think he would know. For example, I asked him, I was reading a book about like a Disney princess or something, and what's this cafe? Like, what's a cafe? And he's like, it's a restaurant. And I'm like, that's some good context clues you just used there. Like, very impressive. Maybe as his dad, maybe I should, I mean, I always knew he was smart, but it's always fun when your kid surprises you with some of that fun stuff. So anyway, very fun when that happens. And I just happy in general. Okay, hold on. Here. But yeah, 7 years old, 4 and 7. They're at such a fun age right now. I'm a little bit worried as my kids get into the teenage years. Am I still going to think that it's all fun and games? Probably not, because life's going to get hard. They're going to have to find themselves. There's going to be like struggles that they have to deal with. And, you know, I don't want them to struggle, but I do want them to struggle. I don't want them to suffer, but I do want them to struggle. I think that struggle does build character. And so hopefully right now you just get to have fun and play with your kids and just have a great time with them. Because I think that's my favorite part about being a father right now. But I do appreciate that I get to do more stuff there. Bet 5k points on Pixfox. But you bank on the youngest too. When they get a little older, you'll do that. Yeah, there you go. I like that. The Titan loss, yeah, Star was so annoying. So annoying. Holy kittens. Okay. That's okay. Stuff happens. We will survive. Despite losing the Titan and the Phoenix, it just didn't feel like I should have lost them. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure I am wrong about that. It just felt like it was not a good loss there. We'll see about Charity. I don't know what she's going to do. Looks like they've got Vertigo, but they're, of course, going to be way far away from Titans. I'm going to be interested to see if Charity attacks me or not. No, she thinks that's a bad idea. I got in front of her enough. I think that, yeah, she's not going to get into the castle. She's going to be a magic user, but necromancers do get a little bit of attack skill. They got giants. Hold on. Vertigo does have giants. Look at this. So there's a pack. This is good because we're going to split up the bone dragons. We're not going to have to fight them all at once. Do you fight this fight? I think you do. If there's giants in here, It's day 7 almost. I think you absolutely fight this fight. If we have to surrender and run away, we will. But yeah, I would love to take out some of these enemies before too many bad things happen. 250 points of damage from the lightning bolt. Charity is a good hero. 3 attack, 3 defense, 2 spell power, 4 knowledge. She has all 40 spell points. We do have 10 spell power, so again, our lightning bolts are going to hit like a truck. It's going to be almost 2 bone dragons there. It's going to be 2 with the follow-up from the titans. I'm very happy that the halflings are taking the damage here. I do not care if the halflings take damage. Does not bother me. So take the halflings, take the dwarves. Take me eyes, but leave me shirt. Forget what that's from, but that is like a 10 or 20-year-old reference. Take me eyes, but leave me shirt. I have no idea what that's from, but that was maybe the most random neuron firing I've had in days. And I'm good with it. I'm happy that our neurons are going crazy here. You know what? You don't need the lightning bolt. Just do the cold ray. 200 points of damage. We'll get out from under the bone dragons. We'll hope for good morale. We don't get it. Yeah, let's just not lose any titans. Let's not lose any dragons. And so I think I want to just put my red dragon here. Maybe I can retaliate and kill the whole skeleton stack. Not quite. Here? Not quite. But let's end this before the enemies get a chance to do anything else. So enemies are going to have to leave the battlefield. Losses look great. Medal of Distinction, Enchanted Hourglass, Thunder, Mace of Dominion, Stealth Shield of Protection, Golden Bow. All good artifacts, all good artifacts. And now by picking up the archery, we are feeling good. Even though we just picked up the Golden Bow, this still feels good because of the damage we can do to our enemies. I don't think that Zam wants any piece of us. I think that if he attacks us, he's going to lose. We still have 40 spell points to go. Let's make sure that we send 6 titans. 6 titans towards our enemies as quickly as possible. And we're even going to have Marini pick up 1 more titan first thing in the morning and send it on over with Alamar. He does need to get rid of everybody who's 4-speed though. Right now it's all about the titans. All about the titans. So will Zam attack us or not? Oh, we're going to lose the sorceresses. It's day 1. Yeah, it's day 1. So you did not take this castle, Gem. That's a failure on your part. We're going to hire these 3 phoenixes immediately. And even if we don't hold on to that from that point, it'll still be fine for me. If we do have to lose that castle, at least the enemy's not going to pick up additional phoenixes. So let's stomp on purple because purple feels like they've had the upper hand on red. Let's go in this direction because 7 titans are just going to pop up right here. Right there. And then Mandigal is going to be way too tough to deal with. Lose a couple of forces, not too bad. But yeah, they got up to a cloud castle. It's nuts. How did you even do that? I don't know the answer, but I'm very interested in the result. Alamar is going to be very close. Let's put Mandigal right about here. And then first thing in the morning, we'll head off in this direction. Let's see if we can hold off Gem. Are there any other things we can do to help this fighting force go well? We do have a captain. It never hurts to have a couple of sprites. 1 6-speed creature. Okay, we'll just call it like this, and then we'll split the sprites into a couple stacks. We'll defend and see where this goes. Very nice, very nice. What should the Fix Fox channel points be called? That's a good question. And I do want to, let's open that up to everybody. Open that up to everybody. If you've got an idea about what the Fix Fox channel points should be called, please let me know, because I want to know what you think on that. Fix bits. Nah, Twitch will go nuts because they'll be like, oh, that's a copyright. I'm like, I said the word bits. They're like, yeah, that's a thing on our platform already. Okay. Enemy has fled. 4 bone dragons goes down. And do note that because Gem didn't attack us, I'm just not worried. I'm not worried. In fact, she might even be running out of castles pretty soon. I don't remember if the Necromancer castle is there or further south. There's an observation tower, which is good. Oh, she gonna take this castle? Almost. Almost. Can I hire a hero and do like a little bit of a hero chain? Possibly. Like to here. Back. Big swap. Uh-oh. Hold on. Little swap. Big destruction. Defeated? No, there's still one more red player out there. That's crazy. And then we'll just do this final swap, and it'll be Mandigal that picks up the final bits of these forces in just a moment there. So the hero chaining, I mean, we ultimately saved just enough movement points that we were able to fight both forces. It's not super clean, but it did work. And there is purple. So wherever the red enemy hero is, I think that they are just going to wander around for a little bit longer until they are defeated. Purple player's been vanquished. Is it possible that red has picked up another town somewhere? Do I need to start exploring and try and find that? Let's spread out, look for clues, and solve this Scooby-Doo mystery. Not down here. Ooh, a Sphinx. Let's go for that. We are not trying to win the scenario in as few days as possible. This is not the Kelvin Open. We are here to have fun and adventure. And adventure we shall. Okay. 20 steel golems go north. I'm expecting just to hit end turn and the enemy just loses. Unless they picked up a town somewhere. In which case, Mandigal going in this direction is actually not too bad, because I think there is a lith. Yeah, there's a lith right over there. So let's see if we can find this final player. Maybe another observation tower up here? Maybe, yeah, I think there's one right over there. Nobody's ever been here. Ah, there it is, Black Ridge. Okay, well, let's not lose the game, but still, let's do the Sphinx. I have a riddle for you, the Sphinx says. Answer correctly and you shall be rewarded. Answer incorrectly and you shall be eaten. Do you accept the challenge? Yes, I do. Folks, what turns everything around but does not move? Remember, this is 9 titans at risk here. 9 titans that we are risking here. What turns everything around but does not move? Fixies, that's what we should call the reward points. I like that. That's cool. I like that. Oh, and yeah, the struggle for your kids is that as they grow up and they learn what life is all about. Yeah, time is a thief, and I wish my kids didn't grow up, but I'm very happy that they are. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Fix Fox Estates, now that's cool. Oh, the bandanas, that's the icon. That would be sick too. I love that. Fix coins, all good stuff, all good stuff. Oh, and welcome to everybody who I haven't said hello to yet, but Santa Paul is just the one that I noticed most recently. And the Fix Den, I like that, not too bad. Roman, it is very fun being eaten by a Sphinx. It's very fun to get the answer correct, but I don't know if there's anything else about it. The answers that people are saying is mirror. I will tell you, I would absolutely fail this right now. Mirror sounds great to me. So I'm going to put mirror down and just hope for the best. Looking somewhat disappointed, the Sphinx size, you've answered my riddle. Now here's your reward. Be gone. I will absolutely tell you folks, I would have failed that and it would have been very, very sad. So thank you for the help. We would have lost and we would have just not good. Not good. Time moves on. That's a good way of looking at it. We did ultimately get the answer correct, but remember, folks, I could not have done it without you. I hope that I can impress that upon you enough. Day in and day out, I hope that you hear that and you know that it's very, very true. That's how I really feel about it. Okay. This lith, yeah, we're close enough. We can make it with our main army. And these phoenixes. Here to here. And this is what you call overkill. Here to here. 6 phoenixes on top of dragons and titans. And folks, I do believe that this is going to do it. I don't think that our red player has any addition. What? Where are you, red? Holy kittens, you're still alive? How are you still alive? Where are you? Goodness. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not going for a high score here, because otherwise we would be very, very sad indeed. Maybe they had a hero to the north? I don't even remember where all the castles are on this map. Who else still needs to go? You? I wish that the enemy would just surrender. That would be sick, actually. If the enemy has no chance of winning and they just know that they don't have any chance. Huh. Well... they did get up to here. They've got a red sawmill that's flagged. Nobody's ever been here, so Saracen doesn't need to concern himself with that. They didn't take this castle to the west. But maybe they're just tucked away in this corner over here? Is there a town nearby that I'm unaware of? No. I think that there's nothing south of the equator. Yeah, they've got to be up in this corner somewhere, somehow. Ah, found you. Okay. What was I saying about the enemy being really squirrely and not cooperating? The enemy was not cooperating. You were able to beat them? Did you see that? How did Alamar beat that army with only 37 halflings? I wish I'd actually looked at that because I didn't realize that he did that. Alamar is the boss and red player's been vanquished. So folks, we did it. We completed the first challenge here in the Fix Fox challenge series. I think what I'm going to do here, knowing that I completed this scenario in 48 days, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of all of these different playthroughs, and I haven't yet decided if I'm going to play Beltway again and again and again with these different challenges, or if I'm going to play a different scenario, but like a classic scenario, just with a modern twist. Right now, 48 days with the dead